Hi, James Willoughby here. We're bringing you another edition of What's Going On in Austin Real Estate. Every week we look at new pendings, new actives, and trends in the marketplace and talk about what's happening in the Austin market in general. This week is another interesting week. We had a big gain in the number of active listings. And let's take a quick glance here. These are the active listings right here. So we went from 8,900 to 95, almost 9,600 in 1 week. So I'm like, wow, that's really crazy. So when I look at that graph, it gives me a little worry. And then I go and look at these other graphs. Here's the new active listings on a weekly basis here. And you can see the growth and the number of listings. So we went from 949 new listings 2 weeks ago to 1,328 new active listings last week. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of scary. Well, is it? Let's take a quick look. Let me move my head over here. And you can see last year we had a similar pattern. So because we're looking at weekly numbers and not monthly numbers, you have to be very careful to not read too much into 1 week. So just like we had this big jump last year for 1 week, we had the same thing this year. So to that extent, that doesn't worry me. But let's look at absorption rate. And absorption rate is going to be the pendings against the active. So in terms of new pending listings last week, we were almost the same as the week before. So that's good. I mean, we're over 900 listings that we're absorbing every week. Okay, so now how does that relate to the new actives, new versus new pendings? Well, you can see there was a big gap there, but every week there's been some sort of a gap, and we either been ahead or behind a little bit on the actives all year long. And but weeks of inventory, the absorption rate, this is the most important graph. So we talked about this. Let me pull in a little bit here. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, where we were below 10 weeks and we went above 10 weeks and we went below 10 weeks of inventory. Now we're at 10.4. So actually not horribly bad at all, actually 10 weeks, right? By any measure of how real estate works, we actually would still be considered a seller's market. At the same time, there's sellers out there that are kind of begging for buyers because there's certain areas of the market that have too much inventory. Other parts of the market does not have enough inventory. So it's definitely a tale of two different markets at the same time in the Austin area. So depending on where you're at in the city or outside of the city, which suburb you're at, and how much new home construction is going on, it's going to make a huge difference in how fast your home will sell in the current marketplace. So if you're thinking about selling, then that would be a good time to do a discovery call to find out more about your area. If you're already selling and the home is not moving, then it's probably a good time to have a conversation to find out why. And we always look at interest rates every week, so let's take a quick gander there. Freddie Mac says there's a little movement again this week. So we're hovering about the same. We're at 6.82, and for the 30-year, and then almost 6 flat for the 15-year mortgage. It's a national average. So I've seen rates depending on the program. Now these are conventional rates. I've seen FHA and VA rates that are actually lower than that. But overall, the interest rates remain flat and definitely lower than they were last fall, which is helpful for the marketplace. So until we talk to you again next week, have a good week. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything, just give us a quick holler. We're always here. Thanks so much.